Hey, what's up guys? Era94 back with another action figure review. Today we're looking at the Mafex Marvel comic version of Wolverine from the X-Men. So one thing I really like about this is the package art. So they debuted their comic figures with the Spider-Man, which was an excellent figure. This one is their second comic figure in their Marvel line, I guess you want to say, and it's Wolverine in its, Jim Lee costume, Tiger Stripe, everyone's favorite looking classic Wolverine, and the box is just very nice. So here is one side of the box, and if we flip it over, we gotta go vertical here, kind of vertical, and there's the other side. On the back side, we get a look at some of the accessories that he comes with and some different poses and head sculpts as well. So let's crack them open. So if you're interested in this figure, you can actually pre-order him at BigBadToyStore.com in the link down below, so be sure to check that out. Alright, so here's our comic version Mafex long-awaited Wolverine, and he's a great looking figure right off the bat. Now he's not without his flaws though. Unfortunately, there are some flaws to the quality control of the figure, and it's a little bit of annoying, but we'll get into that in a second. We'll run through the accessories first like I always do, so we'll check that out, and then we'll take a closer look at the figure, and then I'll let you know what's wrong with it. So this is how he comes out of the box. We got the pair of fists on, and we have his regular masked head with a neutral mouth or face. So that's about it right there. He actually doesn't come with a crazy amount of accessories. It's actually pretty minimal for an import figure, and especially for the price too. So we have an alternate head that is of course unmasked, and it's pretty decent. It looks pretty good. I like the color on the hair and on the face. So we got black and blue for the hair. The sculpt is nice. I think he looks good. And we also do get a cowl or mask to drape over his back when he has the mask off, of course. And then one more head will be the mouth or the teeth showing angry face, which looks good too. So if you notice, the ears are actually accurate here. A lot of people were doing this with their Marvel Legends Wolverine because that Wolverine had the ears a little bit too close together. So they're spreading it apart because that's a little bit more comic accurate. So that should make people happy. So going on to the claws, of course, we get claws, and this is very long claws, which should be accurate, I believe. So they're closer together and they're really, really long. So I think Toy Biz did it like this, and then Hasbro kind of shortened it down and spread them apart, and then now we're back to this. And they're not metal, they're plastic, they're just metallic painted, so it looks good. So there's those, and then we get a pair of just regular open hands right here. And that's it for accessories for the figure. He does come with a clear base and stand as well. So if we take a closer look at the figure, the overall sculpt and paint job is phenomenal, I think. I like the inclusion of the arm hair there, so we can kind of take a look at that there. So they just painted lines of hair on his arm all the way up to his shoulders. We do get some shading on the yellow on his thighs too. So overall, paint job is nice, sculpt is nice. You do get some, like mine here and there. You probably have some nicks. This right out of the box has a nick right there, which is actually really hard to see, so it's not too crazy, and it gets a little hidden too. So alright, so there's your close look of the figure. Now here's the issue with it. So this pops off really easy, and I was trying to put this back on, and then the shoulder pops off really easy. So that's gonna get really annoying, and it sucks that it's that easy. I mean, everything kind of comes apart on this figure. Look at that. So, it's pretty typical for import figures to come apart like that. It's no big deal, but the fact that it's so easy, it's where it's not really, the usual thing. It's never like that. So I don't know if Mafex has that issue, but that goes for both arms too. Very annoying, just posing him up, you're probably gonna pop off his arm a couple times, and it might frustrate you a little bit. But that is what I've found. Just take him out of the box. His arms came off, so very frustrating and annoying for a expensive figure like this, 70 to 90, almost $100. So let's see how it goes when I go through the articulation of the figure, see if it holds up. So first and foremost, I just want to show off the heads again, but this time on the figure. So there he is with the regular head. Then here he is with the angry head. which looks good. And then here he is with the unmasked head, which also looks really good. So all the heads look really good. So I'm very happy about that. And there's the mask. Alright, so his head's going to do a 360-degree turn. Of course, it's on a ball joint. He looks up way more than he does look down, and that's because of the peg. So he'll look down because, about that much because of the neck being articulated, but the actual ball peg is slanted to the back. You see that? So that's why he looks up further than he does look down. So that's kind of weird, but the reason why he can even look down at all is because of that neck right here moving down. And it's not too crazy either because of that peg. So maybe you can rotate the peg around and get him to look down further, but that's kind of a pain. But anyways, he's the shortest character out there anyways. He's not going to be looking down on anyone unless it's Puck or something. But there's the head. The arm's going to go forward. Well, there you go. See? It does not hold up. So when you're posing his arms, it's probably going to pop off. Goes forward and back 360 degrees. In and out. We have a bicep swivel. Double jointed elbow with a swivel at the wrist and a hinge at the wrist. Of course, we have that socket for the shoulder, but, I guess you can kind of, you can get him to go forward like, see, this, yeah. What I'm trying to do is the butterfly joint there. So they're trying to do that, but the arms keep popping off. That's going to turn away a lot of people, I know that for sure. But to the diaphragm joint, we have a swivel. It's very tight at the diaphragm. Forward and back, not too crazy. Seems like it's really tight. We do get a lot of movement at the waist, since that is a ball joint there too. So forward and back very nicely there, and swivel. Legs are going to kick forward and back. They kind of drop down like SH figures. And then in and out. Then a thigh swivel. Double jointed knees bend very well. Shin swivel or boot cut. Then we have the ankle hinge, a pivot, a swivel, and a toe hinge at the foot. Alrighty, so let's get next to some other figures. Of course, I'm going to start it off with the Hasbro Marvel Legends version of Tiger Stripe Wolverine. This was the first release of it, so they did go with this yellow/orange color. So that's why you see the color difference for sure. But they did release a 3-pack with Jean Grey and the Cyclops, the Love Triangle 3-pack. They did make the yellow just like that. You can see here the size. Mafex really tried to make it smaller. I think imports normally are smaller than Legends, so I'm surprised that this Wolverine is actually taller than the Hasbro. I think if you're going for the more accurate comic look or likeness, the Mafex version does take the cake here with the likeness. Alright, and here I'm going to throw in Cable. This is the mask. I'm going to throw him a little further back so he's in frame. So that just shows how big he is because he's still taller than them, even though he's back there. And then if I get him next to them side by side, he's even, you can see the height there. But that's the Mezco 112 Collective Cable, in case you were wondering. But I'm not going to go too crazy with the Wolverines, since all the Hasbro Wolverines are the same, pretty much. And I don't have the Mezco Tiger Stripe Wolverine. I'll throw in the X-Force one, which should be around the same height anyways, but I don't have the Tiger Stripe one. So I'm not going to go crazy with Wolverines. But and also the Revoltech one, I don't have that one either. I'm not a big fan of it. But here is the Mafex Comics Spider-Man. So this one is, of course, really nice. And this is Mafex as well. My only other Mafex figure. Don't know if you remember, if you did see my Spider-Man review of this figure, I did mention that was my very first Mafex figure. I never really ever collected Mafex until these comic figures started coming out. So yeah, they look great. They really do look good, Only gripe is the the limbs coming off, that's something they really do gotta fix. Alright, and here is the Mezco X-Force Wolverine, and he actually looks kind of funny and silly next to the Mafex one, just proportion wise. But as you see, the height, he is taller than Mafex. Alright guys, and that does it for my review of the Mafex comic version of Wolverine. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. Leave a like if you did, leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Check out my Instagram and Facebook. And as always, have a great day and a Happy New Year.